You know, we're always thinking about how the little things we do every day end up affecting us in the big picture, right?
Yeah.
And today, we're going to be taking a deep dive with you, our listener, into one of the bigger ones I think a lot of people are curious about.
For sure.
Sugar.
Yeah.
What happens if you just cut it out
Yeah.
completely
Yep.
for 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
We're going to be looking at a video by Dr. Berg
That's awesome.
where he talks about this, and we'll just see what happens.
I think what's really cool about this is that it's looking at just a very quick adjustment period.
Right.
Right. We're not talking about longitudinal studies or anything.
Right.
This is like,
Short term.
boom, what happens in 14 days?
Yeah, it's like a sprint.
Yeah.
It's not a marathon.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to be looking at stuff like your appetite changing,
Uh-huh.
what happens to your energy levels,
Yeah.
weight mood,
Okay.
your skin.
Interesting.
We're going to look at inflammation, brain
Yeah.
function,
Cool.
and kidneys.
That's a lot to cover.
So let's get started.
Okay, let's talk about the appetite first
Okay.
and cravings for sugar.
Right. So what they observed is this cycle,
Mm-hmm.
and I bet it's familiar to a lot of people.
Yeah.
You eat something with sugar, your blood sugar spikes up,
Right.
insulin gets released to correct it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it overcorrects, and
Yeah.
then you get that like 230 feeling.
Yep.
And then you reach for another cookie.
Yeah, makes sense.
So what they're saying is that when you eliminate sugar, you're basically getting off that roller coaster.
That's right.
You're not having the ups and downs.
Exactly.
And the signal to want to eat more sugar is quieter
it is.
because your body's calmer.
Yep, calmer internally for sure.
And then that kind of leads into just general hunger.
Yeah. Yeah, so the idea is that sugar itself
Okay.
can contribute to not really ever being satisfied
Mm.
if your cells aren't getting a steady supply of fuel
Okay.
because of all the blood sugar oscillations. And you're starting to develop what's called insulin resistance.
Right.
Your body's constantly putting out these hunger signals
Mhm.
and driving you towards quick fixes,
Interesting.
like sugar.
So just to quickly go over insulin resistance,
Yeah,
that's when your cells are kind of like, I've heard this message too many times.
exactly. They stop responding
Yeah.
as readily to insulin
Right.
when it tries to usher glucose to
Okay.
the cells.
Yeah, it's kind of like ringing a doorbell constantly, and eventually they're just not going to come to the door.
Exactly.
So the problem with this is it doesn't just affect the way your body uses sugar,
Uh-huh.
but it also affects how it absorbs nutrients.
That's right.
So it's making it harder to absorb vitamins and minerals. And that's definitely not what we want.
No, and what's cool is they're saying when you remove sugar,
Yeah.
this can reverse.
Oh, wow.
The insulin can start working better,
Okay.
and then you start getting the nutrients you need.
Interesting. So you're not only taming the cravings,
Uh-huh.
you're actually helping your body become more efficient
Right.
at using energy and getting the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Pretty cool.
Now, another thing that I know I personally experience sometimes is that, like, after meal tiredness,
Yeah.
you eat and then you just kind of want to take a nap.
I
I think we've all been there.
it happens to the best of us.
So what's going on there?
Well, it seems like it's tied to those blood sugar spikes and dips.
Okay.
When you remove the sugar,
Yeah.
you encourage more stable blood glucose levels.
Makes sense.
So your brain is getting a nice steady stream of energy.
Right.
It's not getting that burst and then
Yikes.
crash.
Right.
And as a result, you don't get so tired after eating.
So less sluggish.
Yeah.
More productive.
I like that.
We'll see.
Now, they also observed some changes in weight,
They did.
especially in the first few days.
Yes. And a lot of that early weight loss is just water weight. Oh, really?
Yeah, sugar tends to make you retain water.
Huh. Interesting.
So they're saying some people might lose as much as 13 pounds of water
Oh, wow.
in that first week.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of water.
And I imagine that's part of what makes you feel like your clothes fit better.
Yeah, especially around the midsection,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Yeah. 13 pounds of water in a week.
It's crazy.
That's wild.
It is wild.
And this is connected to heart health too, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Less water retention means your heart's got to work less.
Exactly.
Okay, so beyond the water weight,
Yeah,
your body starts to burn fat for energy.
it does.
So the shrunken waistline, it's
Mm.
not just about how you look.
Right.
It's also a good sign that you're losing visceral fat.
Yeah.
The kind that's around your organs.
All right.
And that can be dangerous,
Oh,
right?
it can be, yeah.
So cutting back on sugar,
Uh-huh.
it's good for your metabolic health.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're talking feeling better.
Yep.
More energy.
Uh-huh.
And even seeing physical changes.
Right.
Pretty quickly.
What about the less visible changes?
Okay. Like your mood and your mind.
This is really interesting because
Yeah.
it shows the link between what you eat
Okay.
and how you feel mentally.
Uh-huh. They observed that eliminating sugar
Yep.
can lead to feeling calmer
Okay.
and less stressed,
Makes sense.
probably because you're not getting those sugar highs and lows,
Yeah, that makes sense.
which can make you irritable
Mm-hmm.
and anxious.
Exactly.
So it's like your brain is on an even keel.
Yeah.
And then there's also the improved focus and concentration.
Right. So with stable blood sugar levels,
Okay.
your brain is getting a consistent supply of glucose,
Yeah.
which is its main energy source.
Right.
So this can mean better mental clarity,
Yeah.
better concentration,
Uh-huh.
less distractions.
Yeah.
It's like giving your brain the right fuel
I like that.
to work at its best.
Yeah. Especially in this world where everyone wants our attention all the time.
All the time, right?
All the time. Yeah.
It's tough.
So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about something I think a lot of people are interested in.
All right.
Skin.
Skin.
They mentioned a link between sugar
Uh-huh.
and acne.
Yeah, and it's interesting how this works.
Okay.
When you eat sugar, your insulin goes up.
Right.
And in women, this can also increase androgen hormones.
Hmm.
And these hormonal changes
Yeah.
can lead to acne.
Really?
So cutting back on sugar
Yeah.
can help balance those hormones out,
Okay.
potentially give you clearer skin.
I see.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
glow everyone's always talking about.
Oh, yeah, right?
And it's not just about breakouts either.
Mm.
It's important to note that for men,
Yeah.
increased insulin can sometimes lower testosterone,
Oh, wow.
which is something to keep in mind.
That's huge.
Yeah,
So we've got clearer skin
Uh-huh.
and potentially more balanced hormones.
potentially, yeah.
Another reason to think about cutting back on sugar.
Sure.
Now, something that might be surprising to some people is the link between sugar
Yeah.
and inflammation.
Inflammation.
You know, feeling stiff and achy.
Right. So sugar is known to increase inflammation in the body.
Hmm.
And they observed that when you switch from using sugar for fuel
Okay.
to using fat
Yeah.
and ketones,
Mm-hmm.
you can experience a reduction in inflammation,
Interesting.
even in your arteries.
Wow.
Yeah. And they did say it could take about 3 days
Oh, wow.
for your body to make that switch
Okay.
from using sugar
Yeah.
to using fat for energy.
Right.
And you might even feel worse for a little bit.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But they suggested taking B vitamins, maybe from nutritional yeast,
Okay.
and potassium
Uh-huh.
to help with that transition.
Interesting.
It's like giving your body some extra support
Okay.
as it adjusts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then less inflammation in the long run. That can help prevent some serious stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like blood clots,
Blood clots.
plaque buildup,
Yeah.
stroke,
Stroke.
heart attack.
That's right.
That's a lot.
It really shows you how what you eat
Yeah,
can affect your health in the long term.
for sure. Now, this next one is really interesting.
Okay, Berg there.
They're saying that when your body uses fat for energy
Uh-huh.
and makes ketones,
Yep.
it can actually help grow new brain cells.
Yeah, this is a newer area of research,
Okay.
but it's looking like ketones,
Uh-huh.
which are produced when your body burns fat,
Right.
might be able to protect nerve cells
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even help new ones grow.
Wow.
So it's like changing your brain's fuel source
Yeah.
could have a lot of benefits.
So not only could we be more focused,
Right.
but we could also be making new brain cells.
Potentially.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
All right, now let's move on to the liver.
Oh, right.
I think most people know that too much alcohol is bad for your liver.
But sugar can also cause problems, right?
It can, yeah.
It can lead to a fatty liver.
Exactly.
So is that kind of like what happens with alcohol?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
When you eat too much sugar,
Yeah.
your liver can turn it into fat.
Right.
So they observed that if you cut out sugar,
Hmm.
your liver can start using that stored fat for energy.
Oh, so it can kind of reverse it.
Potentially, yeah.
And they also mentioned a connection between a larger waistline
Yep.
and a fatty liver.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's something a lot of people can probably relate to.
Yeah.
So cutting back on sugar,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just about feeling better right now.
Right.
It's about taking care of your liver
Long term.
in the long term.
Exactly.
And finally, let's talk about kidney function.
Okay.
They mentioned how high sugar intake
Yeah.
can be really hard on your kidneys,
Uh-huh.
especially for people with diabetes.
That's right, because high blood sugar levels
Yeah.
are really damaging to the kidneys.
Right.
And that's a common problem.
Yeah.
With diabetes.
So if you cut down on sugar
Uh-huh.
and carbs,
Yeah.
you can help your kidneys.
Especially if you're already having kidney problems.
Wow. So that's a lot of potential benefits.
It is.
From just cutting out sugar for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
reduced cravings,
Yep.
less hunger,
Mm-hmm.
more energy,
Yeah.
stable weight,
Okay.
better mood,
Yep.
healthier skin,
Right.
less inflammation,
Uh-huh.
improved brain function,
Yeah.
healthier liver,
Uh-huh.
and healthier kidneys.
It's amazing.
It really makes you think
It does.
about how much power this one change can have.
What's really striking is how connected everything is.
Right.
You make this one change,
Uh-huh.
and it creates this ripple effect
Yeah.
of positive changes throughout your whole body.
Like your body's trying to get back to a natural balance.
Exactly.
So to our listener who's been with us on this deep dive into cutting out sugar,
Yeah, right.
we've looked at what can happen
Right.
to your appetite.
Cell hunger,
Yeah.
your energy levels,
Right.
your weight,
Mm-hmm.
your mood,
Yeah.
your skin,
Skin.
inflammation,
Uh-huh.
brain function,
Okay.
liver,
Yep.
and kidneys
In just 14 days.
in just 14 days.
It's pretty remarkable.
So we have a question for you.
Okay.
Which of these potential changes
Hmm.
speaks to you the most?
Yeah.
Is it more energy throughout the day,
Uh-huh.
clearer skin,
Okay.
a happier mood,
Yeah.
maybe a healthier heart
Right.
or liver?
Potentially.
Take some time to think about what we've discussed today.
Yep.
And maybe consider
Uh.
how sugar might be affecting you.
Yeah.
It's all about your own journey
Right.
and your own discoveries.
Exactly.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next time.